Hello and welcome to another update video about Solana. So already in the earlier video today, we talked about this extension in the third wave that was unfolding and could likely reach $55 next. For the last, I don't know, few weeks, the $55 level has been the target for, well, either the third wave or the fifth wave, both possible. In a third wave within a diagonal structure, again, I'm only talking about the micro here. In the earlier video today, I talked about the bigger picture. But in a third wave, we are basically typically watching as a very minimum, but that's really the bare minimum for the 100% extension level of the wave one. That was reached here. We had a bit of a break there. We did overall expect the $55 level to be reached either in the third wave extension or in the fifth wave, so both possible. Then obviously the 1.236 extension here, the $55 level, that's broken now. But that's also only one of the targets in a third wave. So we can always go to the next one, which is the 1.38. That would be completely normal in a third wave. It's not even a crazy extension in a third wave of a diagonal. So that was one of the key targets I mentioned as well. After 55, that all can still happen in the third wave. After that, we've got the $79 level. And it really depends on how high do we go in the third wave, how high we can then go in the fifth wave. Okay, so for example, if in a third wave you see the 1.38 extension, which is really a very common target for a third wave in a diagonal, then obviously we would look at the fourth wave later. So far this support hasn't broken. Let me actually adjust that so I can adjust support for you. That just means if we now come down in the fourth wave pullback, the support is at $31.43. This is the 50% retracement level. As long as we're holding that level, a fifth wave rally can be expected. So for example, if we go to the very common 1.38 extension in the third wave, then the target for the fifth wave would be $80 or even $93. But I have seen diagonals where the fifth wave extended to the 200% extension. That would be at $113. But those are all targets and levels that we talked about already in previous videos. At the moment, Solana is just extending in the third still. And any break below $43.14, which is the 23.6 fib level, would confirm that we are basically here in the fourth wave. Okay, and then if we see a reaction here to one of these fib levels, we would still expect the fifth rally to happen, the fifth wave rally. Okay, so next key target to watch is $63.70. Let's actually go to the 8 hour. Let's see if there is any more structural resistance left. We broke the previous one. The next structural resistance level is going to be this one here, which is at $59, which is just before the 1.38 extension level. But these are sort of the next key levels to watch. Again, reaching the 1.38 extension in a third wave is nothing uncommon. It's one of the targets that we wanted Solana to reach. So I'm very happy for us to get into this target range. The only question was, do we do it in the third wave or do we do it in the fifth wave? So all I can tell you is that a fourth wave pullback is due, can happen in this region, could already have happened here. But that was really just the bare minimum. So for now, the trend is still up. And as I said before, we are expecting higher prices for Solana still. But at some point, if a pullback comes and it is a corrective pullback, we would expect it to be just a wave 4 that would then lead to another rally in wave 5. Long term, there are two main scenarios we're observing. I mean, there is really not much more to say about the microstructure. I think the next targets are already well known among anybody who's been watching these videos here. Just wanted to keep you updated because the market is a little crazy again today. And because Solana reached our next target. So some of you who might be new to these videos, haven't watched the previous ones, might be wondering, you know, what could be the next target. And I mean, the fib levels are on the charts. As a member, you have access to these 24/7. And but bigger picture, we're tracking two scenarios. I mentioned that earlier in the video, but just want to mention it because there's a lot of interest in the crypto market at the moment, especially Solana. So I'm tracking primarily the yellow wave count, which is an ABC structure. And in the C wave, we have a 5-wave move, 1, 2. This is the third still. Then we should get a fourth and a fifth. So if this is the pattern, we are not done yet, and we should get at some point a higher low and then a higher high. Pullback entry point would be in the fourth wave support area. You can always trade the trend as it is, okay? But I mean, you just have to adopt the strategy. You know, this is just the analysis. The trend is up. I mean, that's what I can tell you. The trend is up against $31.40. There are different ways how you can trade this with moving average crosses, you know, fib levels, but obviously it's just going. I mean, there are ways to chase a train. It's just that it ideally isn't done with a highly leveraged position. Instead, it would be done with a small position. But that all depends on your personal trading skill, of course. You know, it's difficult to say because some people ask me, you know, what would be the next entry point? I mean, you cannot answer this question, right? It's just too general. What I can give you are levels that might be good from a reward to risk point of view when a pullback shows, and I can tell you against which level we are focusing on higher, and I can tell you the next target, and I can tell you this rally doesn't seem exhausted yet, so we're still watching for those targets that I've been talking about for weeks, and I can tell you that this is just still a common range for a third wave, so not even an unusual extension. But yeah, what can I say? Against support, we're still focusing on higher, and you can see that we still expect higher prices because the fifth wave isn't even done yet. It hasn't even started. Okay, so that's very important to understand. So what else can I say? Oh yeah, and if these 5 waves are done, well, we have a major decision point. I call that a wave B here, which could actually take us to completely new lows. Now, that's not a prediction. It's more like just highlighting the risk here. I mean, we're probably not done yet, but as I said, if we get that C wave down, it could take us to new bear market lows. Seems completely crazy right now. I know it's just a potential that's there. It's also a potential that's still on the Bitcoin chart. Is it something I'm primarily watching for? Actually, not really, but I have to point out the risk here. I can just say what I see, and what I see is that the market adheres really well to the wave count here of the yellow structure. So it's adhering to all the fib levels, the targets. It's what can I say? It's not really adhering to the white count, which is actually the more bullish one. It's possible as well, and if we see it adheres more to the white count again, then I'm happy to make that primary. In the white count, after all these 5 waves are done, we expect a higher low again in wave 4 and another higher high. So the white count is actually more bullish, but we need a little bit more price data to confirm which one is which one is happening here, and it doesn't really make a difference, because at the moment they are both they would both trend further to the upside. Yeah, just be ready for a wave 4 pullback at some point here, because we're now in the area where normally, also with a high likelihood, a third wave finishes in the diagonal, but at the same time I don't see any sign of exhaustion yet. I mean, the first micro support. What is micro support? Well, we had this resistance level here, and my view is if we break below that again, $48.30, it would be the first and early signal that the pullback in wave 4 has started. Yeah, that's my update about Solana. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.